Let's start off by telling you about the three experts who will be joining in over the next half hour on the show. Ramdev Agarwal, Joint Managing Director and Co-Founder at Motilal Oswal, will be with us. There's also Sajeev Dhawan, Managing Director at JV Capital Services, and Sandeep Wagle, Founder and Managing Director at AptartIndia.com. Sandeep, to start off with you, once again we saw that it was a fairly dull day of trade, but the volumes continue to remain on the higher side. What's the call when it comes to expiry? Is it going to be as flat as it has been for the last 2 days, or are you expecting any sort of movement?
Absolutely, Avan. I would expect the expiry to be in a 50-point down or up range. So talk of the center point somewhere exactly where we have closed, 60, 50, 60, 60. I don't expect 6100 to be crossed on the upside. I don't expect 6000 to be broken down on the downside. And I would term this as expiry blues. I mean, this is what you expect. I mean, those big movements, I think, are a thing of the past. So I really don't expect anything more, the Nifty to do anything more. And stock specific, yes, there were some very clear stocks like a Voltas and all that. So those kind of stocks will continue their up move. But other than that, there is no clear direction to the Nifty.
Ramdev, the phrase which you aptly used in the month of October to describe the market action was high volatility, no return. So how would you characterize the current market setup?
It looks that, I mean, it has been very stable. Now I think if it is not volatile for some time, I think volatility is ahead, in the sense that it cannot remain this cool for a very long time. Maybe some kind of a storm is building up. Maybe the election result has surprises, maybe negative or positive. I don't know. I mean, whether the kind of rallies we are seeing, whether that translates into the ballot box or does it disappoint us. So polarized rally, whether they are going to put into the polarized voting. If not, in that case negative surprises. If yes, in that case positive surprises. So one way or other we are going to have a little more volatile time going forward.
Sandeep, let's also talk about the price action that we witnessed in the likes of Wockhardt in today's session. No doubt there was certainly negative news on that one, but it looks like the road seems to be fairly rocky when it comes to the fundamentals anyway. Are you seeing more downside?
Oh yes, Avan. I think the downside is a fresh leg of the move has begun on the downside, and I would see very clearly levels sub 400 levels. It could go much beyond that also. Immediately I would, at a level of 430 or so, I would talk of a 390, 385 target, a trading target, but can't say whether it will stop there. And I think that even at this level, if you are holding the stock, you should sell it out, book out, and maybe you can buy it at lower levels or maybe not buy at all.
Ramdev, the price action in cyclicals, industrials and metals seems to be indicating that markets are confident that the rate of change now for the economy related stocks would be constructive. So for those who are now beaten down some of these stocks, would you call them they are smart investors or they are still taking a big leap of faith?
See, these are contrarian buy. I mean, these large unpopular companies, they had been beaten down to abnormally low levels, and some of them are still lying there. So when the hope comes in the economy, which is there for last month or two, we have seen the rally coming to these stocks. But if the hope is belied, in the sense that mandate is not the liking of the market, it's completely fractured, then clearly again this rally will turn out to be a false rally.
Sandeep, how would you be playing the overall high beta bucket? Because you did see some of those names when it came to the capital goods names, which got a little bit beaten down today.
I will say they are correcting. I mean, a BHEL, a Crompton was the best peak yesterday. Today also it is closed higher, some kind of a consolidation. So be prepared for some kind of a correction, but the pattern is absolutely intact. So I would be buying into that. I think Crompton is the best bet as of now. Crompton, Voltas, these stocks are looking good. Voltas has given a fresh breakout today, I would say. And some more upside, some more trading upside, some probably an upside more than a trading upside is what I would say.
Ramdev, let's talk about one basket which has been getting quite a bit of attention, and that's the consumption space. You have seen Pardon me, we'll just come to that in a bit. But if we were to just talk about, the month, Ken India particularly, the buyback price, because that was the news, and it seems like the street was rather disappointed in terms of the buyback price. If we look at the cash pile that the company was sitting on, would you too say that you're disappointed?
So I think the move is fantastic in the sense that their company is moving on the right direction in terms of using the cash to buy back, and but I don't know. I think this price should not be attractive enough for anybody to offer 10% of the company. But the management knows better, at what price they can get the Can PLC shares, because that seems to be the main target of getting. So they might be having some feelers from them that 335 is a good price to offer, and they will surrender or something like that. But otherwise, for minority shareholders, there is nothing in that.
Ramdev, so what do you make of the consumption space? Because we've seen a fair amount of run-up in names like Just Dial, Jubilant Foodworks. Do you think there is still deep value left in some of these concept stocks, some of these brand owners?
See, one of the things we have seen is that wherever there is a quality of business and quality of management, and if with that growth is combined, then there is no stopping, irrespective of the valuation. Whether it is an Asian Paint, whether it is a Just Dial, whether it is a iShares or TechM, TCS, even now Infosys is joining. So, these 20-25 names, wherever there is a quality, growth and longevity of the franchise, I don't think the valuation has mattered. Valuation is all in the minds of the investors and mutual fund managers, not in the mind of the market. Market has been relentlessly moving wherever there is a quality and growth.
Sandeep, I wanted to get you in when it comes to some stocks from the broader markets. Very volatile moves, of course, but is there anything that you're seeing in terms of a trend for a Diwan Housing as well as a TTK Prestige?
Diwan Housing, I would not be that keen, but TTK Prestige, yes, a fresh breakout has come, and the only problem is it is already up 10%, 11% in a single day. But I certainly see some more upsides. I would talk of a 39,54,000 target in a TTK Prestige and would buy it on any bit of a correction up to 35.50. I don't see the stock go below 3,400, 3,430. That range can be a stop loss. And I would bet on a 4,000. Now this is a view for the next few weeks.
Sajid, one stock which really has deceived everyone is Mahindra & Mahindra Financials. It had a perfect close yesterday, appreciated by about 5%. It hit a new high this morning, and then, boom, it came down 5%. Sandeep Bagle? That stock surely is confusing everyone. Looks like even you're confused with the charts there.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, this was our best buy today, and I would completely agree with you that it is totally foxed us. Now, we will not be recommending an exit because, this is in a one day up, one day down. So there is a good chance that you will get the stock up tomorrow. But the pattern is actually very, very confusing. So at a little bit of a higher levels in the range of 300 to 305, traders, we will recommend an exit.
Ramdev, do you think one is better off still owning names like Asian Paints, which you were bullish on the last time, as well as ITC, Bosch, names which have worked in the past? Or do you think that they will work in the future as well? Because it is human tendency to think about new ideas, find out some new multi-baggers. Or are you just saying that you stick to what you have identified?
You cannot have a portfolio of only multi-baggers because multi-baggers fail also. For one big multi-bagger, you have to bring 10 kachra in the home. So you have to build up a steady state, I would say 2/3 should be buy and hold kind of very long-term stocks like say Nestle or Glaxo or Bosch and Asian Paints. If by chance, because of your good luck, you have some point of time, you got into your portfolio, don't send them out because longer term, they are the companies which are going to create a big amount of wealth in the for the portfolio. Though the pace might be a little slower. And then on top of it, you want to put a icing on the cake and say, okay, that is growing at 15%, 17%. Let me bring something which is going to go at 30, 40%. Still, I don't want to compromise on the quality. And then you come out with some of the ideas which sits as a portfolio on top of it. And of course, you commit mistake out there. So keep cleaning up whatever is the mistake and keep riding the successes.
We're identifying some of the stocks to keep on your radar. What are the dealing rooms talking about? First up, Gargi joins in from our research team. Gargi.
Well, Avan, firstly, on Exide Industries, lots of sell calls that we are hearing from various dealers. Remember that there are two important points for Exide. The first one is the market share of the company. That has been a concern for the management. They have been seen as shrinking in market share, mainly because of the other players reducing prices, their warranties in the auto segment, the battery segment that we are talking about. All of that is going to put pressure on Exide Industries. There is a big price cut of close to 5% that is expected to be announced in the next week itself. That is going to give some kind of weakness on the stock. If you look at that counter, that's not been trading well even in today's session. 1.2% decline that we saw on Exide Industries, so keep an eye out for this one. The other one is Tata Steel, and we've continuously been mentioning Tata Steel, but the buy recommendations just haven't stopped. From the institutional side, from the dealers desk, all of them have been bullish on Tata Steel. Close to 400 levels is what everybody is expecting. That's almost, a 6-7 rupee kind of an upside from these levels, despite an increase of almost 100%, from August close of 200 rupees for Tata Steel. We've seen a continuous run up, 2 quarters of great numbers for Tata Steel. That's giving an edge to the company. That chorus, that is the Tata Steel's European operations, those are improving. That's probably the thrust that we will get, and over 400 rupees is the target we're hearing. So it's Exide Industries for a sell call and Tata Steel for a buy recommendation from dealer desks.
Sandeep Paglia, what are your top ideas for tomorrow?
Nikunja, buy in Voltas, stop loss of 9650, target of 105. A sell in Power Grid, stop loss of 94, target of 88.
Ramdev, for someone who's missed the rally in Tech Mahindra, is it a right time to buy?
I buy for a fairly long time, and if you see yesterday's Mr. Mahindra's interview, clearly it comes out that they are shooting for growth. Quality of the enterprise, quality of the management is not in doubt. And the management itself is saying that top priority is the growth, not the control freak. So I think that combined with the prospect for the business, prospect for the consolidation, and prospect for the kind of growth this company can achieve, I think still a lot of steam is left, not little bit, but a lot of steam is left, and as future opens up, you have to sit through this journey, because still trading at about 13.5 times current year. So significant discount to the index itself, 20% discount to the index. I think that itself is the first, destination.
Okay, great. Thanks very much for joining in right here on Markets Tomorrow, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. Goodbye from Nikunj and me. Thanks for tuning in.